Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is where you're watching this from. Old School back with you here. Some more Disney Infinity, and once again we are under construction with one of the first levels being added to the Hogwarts build. I'm going to take a quick look at the generally finished Hogwarts map, which will be a first look for most of you at the final product. I used a lot of different video reference from the movie series as well as some actual blueprints of the floor plans that were put together by a guy in Germany who does nothing but apparently do floor plans for famous castles. And while I don't think Hogwarts is an existing castle anywhere, he probably studied the videos a lot more intricately than I did, and came up with what seemed like a very reasonable facsimile floor plan, as I am now into the fourth movie of the series. Definitely happy with the way this thing is looking. Again, the castle currently is now complete, and it has used up every bit of memory I really have in there. I'm hoping there's enough left to put in the doors that are going to lead you to the other levels and a couple of mission finders, because otherwise I've got some other plans if that doesn't work out so well. I mean, essentially I only need to put in one mission finder if that's the worst case scenario. I'd just rather not have it go that way if I can avoid it. Papa H in the house. All right, buddy. You're going to get a good look at it here in a second. My partner in crime here, Papa H, is another guy who likes to make these insane builds. He's crazier than me, though. This is one of the first ones I've made in a long time, though, that really just frustrates me that there's no way to share it.
Gonna do today.
All right, here we go, taking a look. Got the Great Hall in the background there. You've got the what was a vestibule in the first two movies turned into an open air courtyard right in front of it. We've got one of the towers, which is basically the library, so to speak, in the center section there. And then as we move to the right, that is going to be where the education went on for the different spells and things of that nature. Down in the front, we have the greenhouses they use to make the herbs and things for their potions. We've got the bridge, complete with fog, that takes you over towards Hagrid's. And you didn't quite see it in the flyby, but the Quidditch arena is down there as well. Now, I do not have the ability to actually put in the Quidditch game in this level. It'd just be over the top, and there's no way it's going to happen. So I basically just put in the stadium itself as a placeholder. You'll go there, and then from there it'll send you to the level. But I couldn't have done too much more based on the amount of memory I have left, which is so slim. Before we head across the bridge here, well, let's take a quick look across the bridge. The fog's on a timer. It'll last for about 2 minutes or so, and then time out for a little bit, and then comes back on. So depending on how you travel and traverse the map, sometimes it'll be foggy on the old busted up bridge, and sometimes it will not. I was going to put a day-night timer on the Sky Dome as well, but I'm so maxed out right now. And that's Hagrid's down there, and in the back we have our stadium. There is something I want to do to that real quick while we're here, because you will enter here, and then boom, it'll send you to the next one, which is what we're going to work on later on here. Yeah, well, the Quidditch thing, man, I'm still stuck on how I want to run that. But let me do this real quick. New logic connection whenever it's opened. And then we're just going to basically have everybody cheering for you as you enter. Loud cheering. New logic connection. Loud cheering. And that's just going to go all the way around the horn. So, what I can't quite figure on what I want to do is there's obviously no flying brooms in here as a option, which is unfortunate. You would think there would be in a Disney game, right? Yeah, Hocus Pocus. Logic connection, loud cheering. So what I'm thinking are two possibilities. The first is instead make it a rail game with a bunch of rails going all over the place and a couple of those randomly switching ones so that you can hop over and all kinds of things, and it won't necessarily be a straight run ever. Kind of like I did with my split decision, which I love that thing. Loud cheering and cheering. Okay, so now when we go in there, it should go crazy. Goblin gliders. That's a possibility. Those ones on the far side are not jumping. Did I miss them? Yeah, let's go this way. New logic connection, loud cheering. Loud cheering. That one's all set. Should be better. Let's see. That's more like it. All right, and then you'll get whisked off to the actual Quidditch arena, which will not be this at all. This is just that first entrance, and I had to put something down. All right, so when it comes to the flying vehicles, so you're talking about the Goblin Glider, which is in our tool pack here. I was giving some contemplation. Which way is it? To the Sky Cycle. It's about as close to a broom as you're going to get. Doesn't go very fast, though, does it? You can shoot at each other. I don't know how I'm liking that. Somehow I feel like I would prefer... I'll get rid of that because I'm not going to... Thank you. Goblin Glider's not too bad. It's got a little bit better movement. But I'm feeling strongly now about the rails, perhaps. Because I think that'll require more eye-hand coordination and things of that nature. And in theory, you could be knocking each other off of a rail if you end up on the same one at the same time. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I think you actually came up with that idea for the Sky Dome. Ooh, little man managed to make the jump. Could have used the door, right? Let's see. We're going to need to save this real quick. And then I will show you what happens inside the other buildings. Think you'll be happy. Because we got some special effects and stuff. Alright, so we're going to go with Hogwarts. I have to admit, I am really looking forward to this Harry Potter game that'll be coming out in the not-too-distant future. It looks like they... I mean, as soon as I heard open world, I was like, done. That's one of those all-in moments right there. All right. I had to say, and again, the fog is now gone, but it'll come back in a few more moments. So it kind of comes and goes as we go across the old bridge. I really wanted to put some... Oh, I still got to finish off those sides there. Shoot. Well, we'll see how that goes. But I really wanted to put a couple of rooms at least in here, put some walls up. But again, the memory... hold on. You can see it's pretty... It's tight, and I need to get some doors in, and I need to get some... we'll take a look at the courtyard back here. Some mission finders and stuff like that. I'll turn that off. When you come up to the book and read the magical spell, it will put you on one of the other missions. Which, once that's all in, which will then end up sending you to yet another level. PS5 will be backward compatible for PS4 games. With very few exceptions. I would be amazed if Disney Infinity didn't work on it. It seems like it should. And now we've got the changing stairway. Which will lead us up. It'll lead us on to here. We've got the cloak hanging there, which will give us invisibility when all is said and done. And that'll be another mission. And I have to remember not to save anything from this point on. Although I don't plan on making any other changes. Then we'll take a look at my favorite place on the whole map, which is the Great Hall. And now we should get a nice little effect. If you remember, after coming back from challenges, whichever team ended up with the most points, their banners would appear in the Great Hall. Well, this is no different. There come the banners. And they're not necessarily going to be the same every time you come in. Oh, there's purple ones. So there's a randomizer that will choose different colors. I think I'm going to add a sound effect to that as well. But here is the finished Great Hall. I want to put the Sky Dome changer and connect that as well, so that when you come in here, it'll have the Starry Night for the enchanted ceiling. So that's still got to get done. Small details still left, and I wanted to put a bunch of the townspeople in here, jumping up and down and all that kind of stuff, but man, that memory is just going to get crushed. But I do need to put our staff here in the main way, which should be fine. I don't think that'll put us over the edge. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything. By far one of my most ambitious builds to date, but the final product I'm happy with. I gave some thought to changing that out and just manufacturing one that kind of fit the other parts. But again, with memory being what it is, and the fact that that actually fits, and to start messing around at this point, I don't know if I want to do that, but I still might. That's one of those things that I am contemplating. NSV, how are you, my friend? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Which extra details are you referring to, my friend? I do enjoy just roaming around this thing now. Oh, I guess I can show you guys the... I might want to put some of those short walls along here so you don't have that crack of daylight that I absolutely hate. So when we come over here, we're going to read from the book. And all of a sudden, poof, as if by magic, then you'll come down. And I did this in one of the other videos, showed what we were doing here. But I think it was the either first or second movie where they actually went behind the waterfall, and it was such a cool effect I had to put it in. So now we can run behind the waterfall. It'll take us to this closed gate, and that will then propel us into the next level. I really like that. Nah, you're my hero. I tell you that all the time. I'm doing all right, brother. How you doing? Today was day one of job hunting. For those of you that have been keeping up with the news or have heard the news, the Walt Disney World Company has had no choice, really, but to lay off a whole lot of people, and I was one of those people, unfortunately. So after an 11-year career with the mouse, it's time to find something else to do. So... on the bright side, they're still paying me for a couple of months, which is nice. I still have my benefits and everything, which is nice. On Monday, I'm going to go back to Hollywood Studios so I can see Star Wars Rise of the Resistance for the first time, because I have not yet seen that. So Skydome Changer... and a couple of characters down. That's probably about what I'm going to have left to do with this. If you save the map a few times, you can... yeah, that's what I was actually thinking of doing on some parts of it anyway. Was exactly that. Duplicate the whole map, and then the section that I don't need for a particular scene, I could chop it out. But I won't have to do any of that as long as I can put probably 4 mission finders or mission givers. I should be good, and I think I can pull that off. I mean, it's not going to be that much memory in putting a few characters down and be using that door trick to use text. Yeah, NSV, I'm in the United States. I'm in Florida. The house and a mouse. Yeah, I know you had mentioned it earlier. What line of business were you? I'm assuming it's COVID related that you're now looking for work as well. What were you doing prior to that? All right, let's get started on the actual build now that we've gotten a look at that. We're going to load into something new. New toy box save. Bam. How are things going in Belgium right now with this whole coronavirus thing? Nope, I thought I said new. Toy box, new, empty. Well, good for you having a new job. Can you hire me? Surveyor, site engineer. I would think that would be somewhat safe. I mean, doesn't that stuff still have to happen? I felt like construction and all that kind of stuff was still happening. At least it is in Florida.
Well, I know I'm ready for some fun. Come on.
Suddenly he reminds me of Bart Simpson. Ay, caramba. All right. I'm going to want it bigger than this. That's what she said. The Last of Us 2, dude. What a train wreck. Naughty Dog really screwed the pooch with that one. No, I don't like it. To answer your question, I don't like any of it. And they've even ruined the first game for me now, which I'll never be able to thank them enough for. I loved that first game. It's the reason I'm into gaming. It's the reason I'm into streaming. And they just destroyed all of that with that second piece of mess. It has no replay value at all, which tells you it's a bad game right off the bat. It's got the lowest Metacritic scores in the history of gaming by the users, not counting the bought and paid for reviews by critics. And critics, I'm using that word lightly. Oh, that's good news, man. I'm glad to hear that that's worked out for you. I'm feeling pretty good that I've got a few different options that I can connect with, and I'm sure I'll have something before the Disney paychecks stop coming in. I would love to have paychecks overlapping. That would be extra nice. And there is even the outside possibility that Disney themselves would be calling some of us back. I'm sure they will relabel my role and it'll have less money attached to it, but we'll see if and when that day comes. All right, let's begin. I think what we're going to do is start putting the blocks down. I'll worry about coloring and theming them later. So let's see how I want to do this. So it is a uniquely shaped stadium. Let's go ahead and map this out a little bit so it matches. These are just going to be literally measuring blocks here. So we'll go 2 from the end. Alright, and those will be gone. It's just there to help with measurements. Guess I should have measured from the side as well. Nice having a full meter to mess with. I was a resort manager, or resorts manager as it turns out. I was actually managing 3 resorts at the end. So when COVID first hit, we went a good month of just a handful of us and no guests at all. And then Disney decided they couldn't afford to pay us to do nothing, so we went on furlough. And then I got called back ahead of some of my team members. And instead of just covering the one resort, which was Art of Animation, I ended up having to cover 3 resorts. What was the other? So we want to go 1, 2. There's a reason I just did all this. Use it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across. So we want to get to the fourth one. 2, 3, 4 right there. And mark that off. Get him out of the way. And with this, we'll go on a 2. And we'll start bringing that out. It might go a little further. One more out. Alright, so that gives us 4 diagonal blocks. I'm your daddy? Okay. Oh, yeah, I know it, man. And Hunter Gaming, man. How are you, buddy? Yeah, a ton of people. And a lot of them are people I worked with. So everyone's kind of in the same boat right now. And I'll say one thing. There has definitely been a team effort even after the fact. To just really kind of come together and get each other through this thing as best we can. Alright, before I get too deep into this one side, let me go ahead and start on the other side as well. So we want to go on the second line. I think we went 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we keep everything symmetrical. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is right now. I spent a lot of time today. One of my former bosses, who was let go months ago, before COVID even, for another downsizing. Disney's good at downsizing. So just know that if you ever decide to go work for them, enjoy it while it lasts, but it's not going to. At some point in time, unless you're very, very fortunate to dodge a lot of bullets, it will come to an end. And those are some of my bigger concerns. I got 11 years in. That's a good chunk of change, and I planned on retiring with the company. It wasn't my initial game plan, but as things turned out and the more time I spent there, the more I decided that's what I was going to do. God has other plans sometimes, so that's where we're at. And we want to do 1, 2 there. If this thing measures out nicely right off the bat, I'll be happy. I usually run into measurement issues. Let's see, is that accurate? Picking up from the last square. Should be good. Man, I'm happy to hear that, Hunter. What you been up to? Anything fun and exciting? Let's see, this should come here. If I did this right. I think that's what the other one did too. Was there not an overshoot down there somewhere? I mean, I could just soon go with 2 blocks instead, and that'll work. A little neater. So, bam, there we have it. All right, that is the early layout to the Quidditch arena. You got something nice for me tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I remember you showing the thumbnail there of your Marvel thing, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, how do you not like Marvel, man? Oh, I got to post a picture in the community page about a week before I got the news. And even when I was buying them, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now. And it was, I mean, I got a hell of a deal on them, so I'm not going to complain. But I picked up some of the toy box figures. Not the ones that we use here for the game itself, but the ones that are exclusive to the Disney stores that are actually articulated figures and all that kind of stuff. Ray was only like $5 on clearance. I was like, yeah, take that. It's one of my favorites. I cannot believe how there's a lot of the Star Wars fandom that just hates Ray. And I'm like, man, she ain't no Jar Jar Binks. So first off, she's easy on the eyes, so I would think most of them would just like that alone. Bunch of pervs that they are. I don't know why I just did that. That didn't fix anything. But, I mean, look, anyone who's at the mercy of Kathleen Kennedy is only going to be able to do so much. She had some really rotten writing. Kathleen Kennedy should have been fired so long ago. That was an embarrassment that she stuck around as long as she did. Okay, now the tricky thing here is going to be probably, you know, I got to put the lines down, which won't be that hard, I guess. I'll probably just use the wood panels and paint them white. The other thing I could do is you take this and go carefully, half space. So that's going to be a big center line. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take 2 of those across. And we can just paint this. Then we'll have our midfield line. It's a little thicker than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. So we got that there. You don't really see the parts that are over the side too much because we're going to be building out here. We're going to have the tunnel here where the competitors come in, things like that. Xanoz, hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're trying to get as many YouTube videos in by the end of 2020. Why is that, Hunter? Why is the deadline an issue for you? All right, now the question is this. Down here we should have like a white painted area that's shaped almost like a football. And that's kind of the goalie crease, I guess you could refer to it as. And this is the part that I've been doing a lot of thinking on. I was like, I could sink blocks down almost all the way. I'm not feeling it, though. Let's see. Let's see if we can come up with an idea. I was even thinking about doing something like that and sinking that down as well. Well, let's start with doing this. We're going to center that up and go right to the last of that right there. You have tennis courts? Small terrain mounds. That's a thought. Let me try one at each end. I'll try one of these at this end, and then we'll try the other at the other end and see what looks better. That's not going to be white, though, is it? Looks white in the, yeah, looks white in the ribbon, but it doesn't turn out that way. Probably not going to like the texture on that. Yeah, it's actually a possibility. We'll leave it for the moment, since we're in the experimental stage. Let's get this. Might as well throw this over here, because that's where it's going to be a part of the entrance over here. The mounds, he says. Let's see. That's the smallest one. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just take a quick look at. I didn't really do a good job of centering that either, so hold on. Start with that. Then we want to measure it off of there. I mean, I know I'm not going to get the football shape down. That's just not going to happen. But we'll see. I think I'm going to go with block art. That was a good idea. But with block art, I feel like I can probably get something of a close facsimile. So we'll go 2. I thought I set the theme. Did I not? My bad. Oh, taking a break for the holidays. Well, that's understandable. How would you raise the pitch at the end? Let's see. See, the problem is these angles here in the corners. Like, this is where I'd kind of want to do that. But unfortunately, you can't do that with land pieces. I mean, the actual corner itself you could, but then you wouldn't be able to, you know, flip the other one over with it. So you could do that, but then you wouldn't be able to get this one in. Or I suppose you could, and then you could just anchor in the block secondly. But even then, I would more want it to bank all the way around. That's something I might explore later on. Another good idea, though. So I'll let that one simmer for a little bit and see if I can come up with an idea that seems plausible. And if you come up with one, well, let me know. Again, it's not perfect, but you know, it's got that little 8-bit thing going on. And I'll tell you what, instead of 2 on the top and bottom, maybe we just go with 1. Even on the sides, for that matter. Yeah, like I said, it's not perfect, but it works. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be nearly as long. It's going to have pretty simple logic to it. All right, let me get to putting this down on the other end now and remember my measurements. There, okay. We on mark? Nope, we want to be here. Up a half. I'm going to have to redo that. Hold on a second. Just to refresh me on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. There we go. Let's take a high aerial look and just make sure that all looks equal and even. And I'd say we got that. Again, not perfect, but it gives you the general feel. I'm almost thinking of replacing this white line. And by almost, I'm going to do it right now. And we'll just go ahead and theme all. Yeah, I just did not like that big thick line there. Instead, we will just go with this. Yeah, I like that better. For sure, for sure. Alright, so that marks off our area. We can drop in. Let's see, where are we at? Get to our platforming, and then we want to get some posts. And we will use flagpoles. And for this, I'm going to reference back to my video and approximately where they're placed. So you have one there, one slightly higher there. And one sort of in between. There. Then what we're going to do is we're going to be using these rings. They'll be coming on with the assistance of replayers, but I'll just put them in as place markers right now. Yeah, we'll go with the gold. The one part of this thing I have not quite figured out how I'm going to pull off, and that is the snitch. Or the sitch. What do they call that? The sitch or the snitch? I forget. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Yeah, that was always my idea for the hoops, because what will happen is these will all come in through replayer. And then as soon as the team scores, which is, again, why the rails can work, because you can then jump through them instead of throwing a ball. So that's kind of where I think I'm heading with this at this point. By the way, with these flagpoles, is there any... No, you can't change them around any colors or anything. That's okay. It is a snitch. Okay, I would love to hear your ideas, because I am really just... I got nothing. I got nothing. My plan was just to make it a point system, and, you know, once you get to X amount of points, that's it. I guess I should have taken notice. This one is one block in on the big side. And that puts this one back here. And this one, like so. That's one. That's two. And that is three. And again, these are just placeholders right now with these rings, because I gotta actually put them in properly with a path creator. Path creator with a locator on it. I like that idea, because we could have that whole little special effects thing going on. I'll tell you what my problem's been, and I'll even show you right now. We can just do it. And I had to redo, like when we were just in the Great Hall a moment ago and you saw the flags come out with those little sparks and stuff. That wasn't the original build. The original build was I had a simple line just like that with the special effect attached to it. Let's do that right now. Go into our properties. And we're going to visual effect on path, I beg your pardon. And I think I had green sparkles. Is there any other sparkle? Sparkle trail, that's what I had. And that was it, right? So if I back out of this and I drop down somewhere, there we go. So that was, I had that running when the banners appeared in the Great Hall. And it would only last for like 2 seconds and turn off so that it was there just long enough for the banners. Looked really cool, much better than what I currently have. Here's the trick. When I save, and this has happened to me for years now. So we're going to make a new save. And when I load back in, a lot of the times that path is no longer active. It'll be there, it just doesn't work. The same way you can make it a rail slide. I did a really cool Jack Skellington Halloween thing years ago. And the way you got up to the top of the tower was you hopped on the rail. And it wasn't, it was the path creator rail effect. And it worked fine until I saved it and reloaded it and went in, and then you could hop on it all you want. It wouldn't do the rail effect. That would sometimes change if I pulled out the wand. Dynamic trigger to catch it. That's good stuff right there, I got to be honest with you. So like right now, everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Now watch what happens, and let's see if it happens this time. We're going to load in. The dynamic trigger is good because you can hook that up to the same locator. Well, make a liar out of me. Right now it's working okay.
Come on, let's
Well,
go.
here's another possible reason for it. In that case, it was just on and left on. All good. I don't obviously want it on until a certain point in the game, as we've already discussed. So let's go here to our Creativitoys, and I'll be amazed if it doesn't do it here. We'll use a simple on-off switch. How's that? New logic connection when on. Have the path on. New logic connection when it's off. Turn the path off. Okay. So right now it's on. Now it's off. No problem. Save the game. And it's possible because, the Hogsworth build was so maxed out that could be part of the problem. But the other build that I did for Halloween wasn't that bad, as I recall it anyway. Really like that dynamic trigger idea. Excellent. All right, game save. Let's load it in.
know I'm ready for anything. I say we get started.
All right, hold on one second. Okay, let's see. Hop, step, and a jump. So again, right now it's still off because we saved it that way. Let's see if it'll turn on. And there you go, it doesn't turn on. So, oh wait, that time it's on. Let's try it again. And it doesn't turn on. So now you see, I don't see how I can make that work. I love the idea. And I have no idea why this happens. It's been an ongoing issue for me for a long time. It's there. Now it'll work because I use the wand. Why it doesn't work like that normally, I don't know, but it messes things up then. I actually did do a Doctor Strange build. It's in my collection of under construction videos where you can see what I did. Pretty much like you're describing. I use it to make the portal. I don't know. Do you ever have this
I
problem?
can't believe how much cool stuff there is to do here.
Like I said, it works fine once I pull out the wand. And here's another thing that even the wand won't fix. And this is, again, what I was using in that build. Really disappointed me. Now, meantime, I have downloaded other people's stuff before the servers, of course, went down. And I forget which one it was. I have the toy box still. Where he put them down in the ground like this. Boop, boop, boop. Just as an example. Then we come back here. And then we go to properties, and rail slide is on. So now, and you can also put in there the visual effect so that you can see where it is. That's actually the one I did use. Alright, so you have to hop on it. But then you have your rail effect, right? Super cool. Great toy to have. Works like a charm. Now, in this case, I'm not even going to turn it on or off. I'm just going to leave it like it is. We'll save it. And I've got a new idea on something that might work with this. I have not tried using a replayer, I don't think. But why should you have to, is my point. But that might be a solution. Yeah, the locator is going to be the key, man. I think it's going to be sweet. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, too. That's why I said that was such a great idea, because you can put everything onto the one locator.
Well, I know I'm ready for anything.
So let's
I
see
say
what
we
happens
get started.
here. I'm willing to bet I'm not going to be able to fly on this thing. Yep. Doesn't work. Now, if I pull out the wand, maybe. Nope.
Huh?
See, with this thing, at least with the wand, that will come back into focus. You know, that'll happen again, but I have to use the wand. Whereas with this, it will not go into the rail effect. So, that's disappointing. I don't know if anyone else has that problem or if I'm just the lucky one, but get rid of this. Just for kicks, let's go ahead and do it with a replayer and see if that makes a difference, because now I am curious. Oh, well, there goes that. Never mind. I totally forgot that. Let me try it anyway. I know it says it doesn't, but maybe it does. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Well, there's no sparkles. Oh, well, we haven't turned it off yet. Hold on. All right, sparkles are there. Okay. So far, so good. Nope. It didn't lie. It has no effect on it. So, damn it, man. That's going to make our Snitch almost impossible unless there's a workaround that I haven't thought of. I don't know why it does that. I mean, obviously it's not supposed to. If it works like this now and I save it, it should still work like that when I come back into the game. You got to tell me if this is a problem that you also have. If you haven't tried it, try it and see what happens for you, because I need to know if maybe it's something wrong. But I've tried it on 2 different consoles too, though. I've got one in the living room where it didn't work on that one, and now I've got the PS4 Pro in here, and still nothing. Which is going to kind of put me back to what am I going to do for a snitch. All right, I'm going to task you with trying to figure out if it's a Disney Infinity thing or if it's a me thing. So whenever you get a spare moment, and then just drop me a line and let me know if you're able to save a rail effect and have it still work after loading back in. I don't normally use it that way. Well, now I don't do it because it never works, but it was a cool effect. Like I said, this other toy box build had it in there, and it was really cool. And it was kind of how you started off the game. I think it was one of the... it was definitely one of the big name builders. And it still works. That's the thing. I can go load into the box. I don't know which one it is right off the top of my head. But if I were to load into the toy box, the way it started out was you had to just basically from the point where you start the game, it tells you to hop up and down to get the rail started, and it would do it. So it's not like you can't save it and have it work. I can't save it and have it work. And I don't know why, and it's frustrating the crap out of me. But I would love to find out if that's an issue for everyone or just me. All right. I think that's a good building block to start things off with. We've got the arena mapped out now. I'll do a few things a little bit differently as time goes. We're going to actually build this up a level more. There will be a door here where we'll come in, or the other side, I guess, the other side. The door where the competitors will come in. So it'll be over here. We'll have to figure this out how I want to do it, because it's not going to completely... Why is that not evened up? Maybe I'll do it on this side since this one's already evened up. Oh, that is the side I want. Never mind. So that'll be the door. And this will drop out of the way, and then you'll hop into play one way or another. And we'll figure it out. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your input, too, man. You help me see things differently and come up with some ideas and something for me to bounce off of. And but if you get a chance, try the path creator thing and just let me know if it works, even if you just do a quick empty toy box save. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm doing something wrong or if maybe my software is glitched up or something. I don't know, but I've tried it on a PS4 and a PS4 Pro, and it does the same thing. Now I feel like I want to watch Harry Potter. Look in Pirates of the Caribbean for useful openings. What are you talking about, man? They have a special door or something like that? Let me see. Useful openings. Could probably use some of this, though, for sure, for the stands. I should put this down over at the castle. The underside of the dock entrance. That would work. That one probably not so much. This could work. Kind of like that. What was it? Yeah, I was gonna say there was a bigger one here. There we go. Yeah, I can see that. That actually wouldn't be bad, because then if I put it here, it'll almost create a tunnel effect once you put the walls behind it. And then you can actually start out from here more. And this would be like where you spawn in from. And you'll just kind of walk in, get around here, and all of a sudden, whoosh, the door goes away. Because the door opens and closes, it doesn't stay like such. And then the walls will come up around here anyway, so that'll hide the rest. Good idea again. All right. Cool stuff. I will work with that. Good idea. All right, let me save that again just so it's already there. Save.
Wonder what's over there.
You know, everybody around the campfire there at work has a different story about, you know, they got the phone call, and it's generally a general manager calling everybody and letting them know the bad news, and they read from a script, and it's pretty obvious that that's what they're doing. It's almost embarrassing, but okay. And I knew when I got the call, I knew who was calling me, and I knew what it was for. So when I pick up the phone, the guy's name was Jeff, and he's like, "Hey, Bill, just got to talk to you about something." I says, "Am I getting that pay raise?" And I was expecting at least a chuckle or something, but man, that was a tough crowd. And went right into the script. All right, Papa H. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, too. This is good for day one. Thanks again, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this video surprise you're going to drop on us as well. If you guys aren't subscribed to Papa H, you need to do that. All right, everybody, stay safe. Be kind to one another. We will all get through this nonsense one way or another. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and I remind you, as I do each and every time, that Disney Infinity is that special game where the only limitation is your imagination. We'll be back here once again when we will be under construction. So long, everyone.
All along, yeah.